Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and this is going to be my review for the 100 Season 1, Episode 6, His Sister's Keeper. And I was looking forward to this episode, but I didn't watch it last night because Arrow's episode was just really, big last night, and I didn't feel like watching 100 last night, so I watched it, I just got done watching it, and, I love this episode. I really did. I loved, this episode because of, what, happened in this episode. There is some stuff in this episode that I thought was a little bit stupid, and I will say that. However, because of what happened in this episode, and because of some of the things we found out in this episode is without a doubt the best episode of the season by far, because you have these two characters, Octavia and Bellamy. Now, I have not told you guys this. You guys might have heard it in my live stream with Caden LaPlante, aka the Kid of Awesome now. I said on our live stream when we did the 100 episodes 1 to 5 episodes 1 to 5 review, and I said that the two characters that I hate on this show are Bellamy and Octavia. I don't like their characters. This episode, though, it got me to care for their characters. Now, are they my favorite characters now? No, they're not my favorite characters. However, this episode really got me to care for them more, and now I finally see the point of them on this show, and I really liked where they went with, them on this show. That was probably the best part of the episode. It kind of reminded me what they did with the Tomorrow People, where they had them be in flashbacks, and basically we saw how Finn and Octavia got to where they are now, and it was really cool to see. Let's just get to the episode, because I really enjoyed it. So we start off with a flashback. I think I'll talk about the flashbacks first. We flash back 17 years ago as Bellamy's mom is giving birth to a baby girl. Obviously, that's Octavia. But it's against the ARC's rules to have more than one child. That's kind of not, the rule is you have one child, and that's it. So shortly after Octavia's birth, their mom gets sick, and since then, Bellamy kind of protects her. So basically, we find out that he has been forced to protect her since basically she was born, and because of that, he's been protecting her all this time. So, and in the present, Clarke is helping Bellamy search for missing Octavia, who is injured after being captured by the weird man in the forest. Now, this man is actually helping Octavia heal her wounds, and as she tried to escape her unknown whereabouts, Bellamy and Finn lead a team to search for her. So then we get to another flashback, and Bellamy, Octavia, and their mom are now living on the Ark. But when it's time for inspections, Octavia has to hide so no one knows she exists. Because as I said, it's against the rules that she, that there's more than one child. It's against the rules, and they don't want to get into trouble, so they're just hiding it from everyone. And I thought that was definitely a really interesting thing to see. I was, interested in seeing, I definitely, I enjoyed that scene, because, again, it really got us to care for Octavia more. Even, Bellamy and Octavia, as I said, it really got us to care for them more, and especially, just starting in this scene, for example, this was one of those examples where they just got us to care, and I love that. I love that about, this episode. That's one of the best things about this episode, definitely, and I really love that. So Octavia flees from being captured. Clarke and Raven are finding a way to fix their radio so they can make contact with the Ark. They need to inform the Ark that Earth is livable. I'll get some more about Clarke and Raven in a second, but Bellamy, Finn, Jasper, and the search team are chased and attacked by grounders in the forest. So that's obviously not a good thing. And you can see that Bellamy's really determined in finding Octavia, and we know why now. We find out why. Bellamy then tells Octavia they're going on a field trip, and he takes her to this party, and he tells her to wear this mask. You can definitely see that Octavia was kind of a bit of an outsider before. It kind of it makes sense why she's flirting with all these men on the show now, because she really didn't have that before. She kind of was just, not able to talk to anyone, and all she talked to was Bellamy, and it really was just, it really makes sense as to why Octavia was so, flirtatious and sexual and everything. It really makes sense now, and I definitely really enjoyed that about this episode, is that they gave us explanations for that. But he takes her over to this, this party. She wears a mask so people don't see her, because obviously, again, she doesn't want to be found. So Bellamy gives her a tour of the faculties on the Ark. Octavia joins the party, and even dances with this guy that she likes. So, definitely that was interesting. And Octavia's rescued by a grounder, but he's the same one who took her in the first place, so obviously that's not a good thing. So then these guards crash the party with a surprise identity inspection. But Octavia unfortunately does not have any ID. So Bellamy, who is just cadet, tries to get a guard to let her go. Basically, she doesn't have ID because obviously nobody knows Octavia exists. They don't know. They have to hide her. So she doesn't have ID, obviously, so that's not a good thing. And they just have to do whatever they can to hide her, and that's what they end up doing. They hide her, and, you know, that was not good. So Octavia is able to fight off the grounder, but the grounder is still alive. You know, this is a really big scene here. You know, we're seeing that the grounder is starting to attack her and Bellamy. It's getting really intense here. But then the very last flashback in the episode is when Bellamy loses his role as a cadet, and he's now a janitor. And because of this, Bellamy's mom is floated. Octavia will be, and here is where we get to where we are today, and because of them finding out about Octavia, she will be sent to Earth, you know, she'll be sent to Earth as part of the 100, so Bellamy makes a deal to kill the Chancellor so he can join the mission to Earth. So that makes sense as to why he had so much tension with Wells, as to why, you know, Octavia and Bellamy, you know, are there. They really gave us a lot of explanation with that, and I love that about this episode, that they gave us a lot of explanation about why they are there, and I love that about this episode. As I said, this episode was just fantastic. It was great. And, then Bellamy's able to track down Octavia, but the grounder awakens and ends up stabbing Finn, so Finn is now hurt, and Jasper kills the grounder as Clarke tries to save Finn, but needs her mother's help. So I'm thinking that Abby's gonna come down to Earth now. I'm not sure, but the very last scene, I love the last scene of this episode. I love the way they ended it, because this last scene was just perfect. Octavia and Bellamy end up in a bit of a fight, because she starts blaming him for everything that went wrong. You know, she blames him for the grounder attack. She blames her for, she blames him for the, just everything that's been going on, really, on the show. Wells' death, Charlotte's death, everything's been going on basically has been his fault. Which technically is true. Bellamy has been very much like, kill this person, kill this person, kill this person. But now we kind of know why. He's just trying to protect Octavia. And he tells her that you know, you made our mom get floated because of, you know, because of you. I didn't get to have a life because of you. My life stopped after you were born. And what I think what Bellamy's trying to say is that, Octavia, all I've ever done in my life is just try to protect you, and ever since you were born, that's all I've done. And, you know, I want to help you, and I want to protect you, so I'm doing as much as I can to protect you. And I think that's basically what he was trying to tell her. But, you can see that there's definitely a lot of tension between them. As soon as they leave, though, a storm approaches. Kind of came out of nowhere, and, you know, Bellamy looks up and says, oh, a storm is coming. That part I thought was honestly kind of stupid, that they just randomly said, oh, a storm is coming. But I understand why they did that. They want to set up the next episode, but I still thought that was kind of stupid, the way they ended it. But the reason that this is the best episode of the season is because of Octavia and Bellamy. Let's get to the kind of stupid stuff in this episode. Raven and Finn. This honestly just got kind of stupid for me. I would have liked it if it was done a different way. Raven is busy cutting Finn's hair, and, you know, you can definitely, they're kissing and everything, you see that they're happy and everything, and later Clarke tells Finn that because Raven's back, you know, he has a girlfriend, and that's that, and they have no future together. So up above, it looks like a meteor shower, but it's actually the Ark floating bodies, and Finn and Raven say, I love you to each other right in front of Clarke. This makes Clarke obviously very uncomfortable, and because of this happening, Clarke and Raven do come across some old toys left on Earth to make a radio signal, but Raven finds a two-headed deer figurine that catches her eye, because that is something that Finn made for her, and, you know, she's pretty upset about this. She's pretty upset about this when she finds out. You know, Raven asks Clarke if Clarke was screwing Finn after noticing that Finn made them both the same deer figurine, and, you know, Clarke denies everything about it. She doesn't even tell them, you know, that slept together or anything, but now that, you know, now that Finn is hurt, I don't know what's going to happen, but that's what happened with, Finn and, Clarke and Raven. I really was not into that. I thought that, honestly, it was good. There wasn't too much with that, but I just thought that stuff was kind of stupid. But overall, this was the best episode of the season. Now, even though it sounds like I wasn't as positive about this episode, it's the best episode of the season, because now I care about Octavia and Finn. I care about Octavia and, Bellamy. I always do that. Octavia and Bellamy. I care about what happens to them. I care about where their characters go. We know the reasons why they're on Earth now, so it really just, they answer a lot of questions for us, and I was really happy about that with this episode. Couple things that I am wondering. Now that Finn is hurt, is Abby going to come on Earth to say, it looks like on the next episode, they're going to contact, the Ark and show them that we're on Earth and there's a huge storm coming. And I'm thinking that, either someone's gonna die in the next episode, I'm thinking that, or they're all gonna have to come back to, Earth, to the Ark. I'm thinking that could happen as well. I don't know how many episodes is left. I really don't know, honestly. How many episodes does this show have? As I said, I don't know. I think it's like 10, maybe? I don't know. 13, that's how many episodes there are going to be. There's going to be 13 episodes, and, definitely I think this next episode's going to be really big, but this episode, as I said, was, pretty good. I definitely enjoyed the episode, and, again, I really enjoyed seeing more of Octavia and Bellamy's life. Bellamy had to sacrifice a lot in his life for Octavia, but now we realize why Bellamy and Octavia are there, and it really made everything better for me about this episode, and I love that about this episode. So that's it for my review of, this episode. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode. Even though, as I said, it didn't sound like the most positive review, I still really did love the episode, because I loved everything that happened with Octavia and Bellamy. What do you think is going to happen there? Are they going to make amends? I feel like they are going to, but I like that there's tension between them now, because pretty much they're both upset with each other. But this storm, what is this storm going to do with Earth? And also, is Raven going to find out that Clarke and Finn had sex? I'm pretty sure she's going to find out. And also, is Abby going to have to save Finn, or will Finn just die? I mean, I kind of have this feeling, and, the kid of Awesome, Kane, aka Kane LaPlante, also says that, he thinks that, Finn will die, and I'm kind of agreeing with him that Finn might die. But that's it for my review. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be my review for The Americans. So, see you then. Bye.